let's just do it. Bring up that breaking wipe. There we go. The Prime Minister has reportedly reached a deal with his rebel backbenchers over its planned benefits changes. So, existing claimants of the Personal Independent Payment, PIP, to you and me, will allegedly continue to receive what they currently get. So there you go. That's the climb down. They are going to receive, reportedly, what they currently get, as will recipients of the health element of universal credit. So there we are. It's a massive humiliation for the Prime Minister. Don't forget, this was him just 2 days ago.
Must have a welfare system fit for the future, and the current model doesn't work. It desperately needs reform. It leaves people trapped and not able to get into work, and so we need to reform it, and that's what we will do.
No, you won't, because this breaking news is this. Existing claimants of PIP will allegedly continue to receive what they currently get, exactly what they currently get, as will recipients of the health element of universal credit. So, there we go. Quite an embarrassment, that, Chris.
Yeah, it's an embarrassment. I mean, I can't argue for
there goes the Ofcom balance.
Yeah. Well, as a Labour man, I am embarrassed by this turnout, and I think that the MPs are the backbenchers that have been, pulled
Chris,
us into
you keep saying this, but it's weak. A strong Prime Minister can carry his back or her backbenchers, like Blair did, like Thatcher did.
What we've got here, we've got a bunch of MPs that have not looked at the numbers. We haven't got their welfare system fit for purpose, and they've gone on sort of rolled it over with what I can only see as...
What we have here is a woolly woofter Prime Minister. The New Zealand definition.
Good.
What's really bad about this? What's really bad about this is the people. Imagine for a second you're a 18, 19-year-old kid who's getting this, and your friend who's 17 this year has just become 18, just finished their A-levels, and thinks they're going to do this. They won't be doing it. So now you're going to have this gross, unfair line in society where some... What
I don't get, he said he didn't want people trapped in benefits. He's now reversed everything, so they're still trapped.
OK. So, I will just clarify. I think there's a turn of phrase used there that I think actually you meant cowardly, didn't you? Mm-hmm. That's what you meant. Yes, OK, well, good. You meant cowardly because sometimes in slang it can mean something else, which you did not mean.
Right, that's different.
That's good. It's very different. Very different. I know. Just want to clarify. However, so we've got one of your backbenchers here. This is Labour MP Clive Lewis. He's tweeted this in the last few moments. He says, every MP will have to weigh up the deal for themselves. Alas, this smacks of a face-saving exercise more than it does doing right by my sick and disabled constituents. No impact assessment, no co-production with disabled groups, no deal. I'll still be voting against. And actually, I saw Diane Abbott tweet as well, or whoever writes her tweets, saying that she's going to be voting against. The only thing that will do for them is the total destruction of this bill. Well, it's gone to pot. He's caved in, and it's still not enough.
That would be the total humiliation.
But this is the omni-shambles nature of this. He stood up and said it traps people, we must do it. And he took the pain then, he U-turned and is continuing to take the pain, and now he's added to his pain because he looks weak.
Yeah.
The key thing for me was this was the right move for the whole country. It would have been a great manoeuvre as a Prime Minister. He looks weak and his backbenchers are still going to assault him if they're too tweaked.
The benefit of the changes is that the eligibility criteria is going to be tightened up. Okay. And what we've seen is a number of people who do not match the long-term health statistics changing, claiming. So if we can at least cap it off, I mean, it should be going further, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But for Clive Lewis to come out and say that, it's just it just goes to show within the Labour Party we've got too many of these hard left lot that just don't care about dealing what's right for the country.
This is the thing. Look, there's no point giving in. There are certain sectors in society that I think there's no point even thinking about, right? So radical Islamists are one of them because there's nothing you can ever do that appeases them. The radical Green lobby, that's another lot. I think the radical LGBT, there's nothing you can ever do that appeases these people. The rabid anti-monarchists, again, what's the point? So Keir Starmer's finding out here, isn't he, now? So he's in order to try to win reform voters, he thought he'd do his big Island of Strangers speech, which went down like a cup of cold sick with anyone on the left, so he lost them.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, well, it's one of the few things I've agreed with him about it. But then he comes out with this now and he's thinking, oh, gosh, OK, we want to get the welfare. I need to try to appease the hard left, so I'll scrap it. And it turns out they still hate him.
What's happening is he's made a rod here for his own back, and now it's going to get more and more difficult. And basically, they're reverting to form. What we all knew was going to happen. He's now going to be beholden to the hard left of his party, and they're going to spend, and we're going to have tax rises.
Do you want to save a boatload of cash this summer, wherever you have a trip planned? The one thing you're going to need is access to the internet and on the go. And you can do that easily with Saily. Hit the link in the description to get 15% of your first eSIM plan ready for your trip so you can browse to your heart's content. Saily gets you a local SIM card you can use when traveling so you don't have to pay those crazy roaming fees just to send a message or check the latest news. Now, they've got plans in over 160 countries, 8 regions, so pretty much everywhere, wherever you're going, they'll be able to make sure you're connected. So how does it work? All you've got to do is this. Hit the link in the description to download the app. It will work on iOS or Android. Buy a plan. You can choose an amount of data and time frame that suits you best. And then just install the eSIM on your phone. When you land at your holiday destination, you can activate your plan instantly. And if that wasn't enough, Saily eSIMs only ever have to be installed once. So when you go on your next trip, you just buy a plan for a new country, turn that eSIM back on, and boom, you're back watching me on GBNews. I'll be using a Saily SIM on my next holiday because it's actually faster than some of the hotel Wi-Fis. You can get unlimited data if you want, so you can scroll away to your heart's content. And when you leave the hotel, you don't have to do that annoying thing of Wi-Fi hopping because you've got constant connectivity wherever you go. And they've got 24/7 support as well and a full refund policy if your eSIM isn't compatible. So get sorted for your next trip. Download Saily using the link in the description below. And if you use the code NEWS at checkout, you'll get an exclusive 15% discount on us. So click the link, download Saily, and use the code NEWS at checkout.
I can imagine a situation in a month, a week, a year when he's less popular and his backbenchers think, well, let's just force as many U-turns as we can and we'll get our own girl or guy in there, you know.
Well, this is. I'm just trying to look to see if there's any more reaction about this online now from Labour MPs, from some of the usual suspects. But I've got, Guido Fawkes. Starmer bins his welfare reform package in a humiliating climb down after a massive backbench rebellion. So there's that. I mean, this is going on. I mean, realistically, how long can this guy survive?
Well, Angela Rayner's going to be massively on manoeuvres now, isn't she? I mean, she's looking incredibly comfortable the last couple of weeks at the dispatch box. Clearly, she enjoys it. Which is something that Starmer doesn't, and presumably there are going to be other Labour front benches.
That'll be the end of the Labour Party, as we know, if Angela Rayner ever gets there. What Keir Starmer's done is at least calm them down for now. We've got other bits of news that's in there talking about one in, one out from France and looking at how we're actually going to be returning some of the illegal migrants. And I think those arguments he's probably saving himself for.
I mean, this is a let's just bring up some of these front pages again, can we? So bear in mind, these were written before we had the absolute knowledge of what we allegedly know now, right? So the Daily Mail, Starmer caves into rebels on benefits. Bosh, that's one of them. Gone. Then we've got the Daily Telegraph. Starmer caves into rebels on benefits. Bosh, that's another paper there. The Guardian, massive concessions on welfare. That's gone. And I imagine I'll be bringing a couple more papers to you in the next segment as well. I think we can all guess what's on those, can't we? Shadow Chancellor Mel Stride has been quick to critique the government. There we are, taking it in his stride, hasn't he? Blasting the government by saying, this is the latest in a growing list of screeching U-turns from this weak Labour government. And the problem, Chris, I dare say, going forward now, is that the next time he says, look, I'm going to do this, I want to do this because I've got conviction about it, and it's unpopular. And those Labour MPs say, well, all right, I'm going to have to go on the doorstep and I'm going to have to try and sell something unpopular. They're not going to do it because they know he's going to U-turn on it in about 3 weeks' time.
Yep.
Look, he's got things right on defence, right? And I think if we're going to be saving ourselves for a 5% defence spending. This is just one battle, and there's going to be a lot more that will be coming up soon. And there'll be moments in time where the Tories and Reform are going to have to look themselves in the eye. And are they going to align themselves with Jeremy Corbyn, or are they going to align with Keir Starmer?
What does he do now? Because ultimately, as Anna was saying in the earlier segment, there's going to have to be some book balancing here. If you're going to continue that breaking news, that basically everyone who's on PIP and people who are on the health aspects of universal credit is going to stay the same, you're not making any savings, are you, really? So what's he going to do? Who's paying for it?
There's two things. He talked about 39 billion in the spending review. Talk about 39 billion for housing. That doesn't mean anything unless it's repeated in the budget, etc., etc. Let's see how long that 39 billion remains 39 billion. Of course, we talk about 5% on defence, but that's over 5 years, I think it is. 10 years, excuse me. Let's see if that money actually materialise. But there's one thing I can guarantee you will materialise. Tax rises. Right. Now, where those tax rises are, we don't know, because the fundamental mistake the government made is promising not to raise income tax and corporation tax. And the problem with that is that's 70% of their tax take. So now they have to raise all the small taxes again and again and again, but they're the ones that really bite. So let's see which one of those go up.
I think one of the main things you've got to take here is Rachel Reeves has been committed to fiscal credibility. Since the Liz Truss mini-budget, there was the moron premium for the average G7. So we've had 4 base rate cuts, but our gilt rates haven't gone down. They've actually maintained. So this is the kind of situation where these decisions are going to be maintaining that premium to the rest of the G7. So it's going to have to be something that's going to be some real
watch this space. Thank you. Just to recap on this. So that breaking news is that there are very strong rumours that Sir Keir Starmer is going to basically just U-turn massively when it comes to welfare and benefits, and that we think that includes keeping everyone who's on PIP exactly how it is, followed by anyone who's on the health aspects of universal credit staying exactly the same as well. Massive cave-in, massive climb down, bit embarrassing. So watch this space for more detail as we get it. But